Welcome to an Introduction to Accounting, brought to you by Parkbench Tutors and narrated by David Hopcroft. Parkbench Tutors, you can find us on Facebook, or you can look us up, parkbenchtutors.com. In this short podcast, we're going to look at a little bookkeeping exercise, that is, balancing an account. All ledger accounts have to be balanced at regular intervals, and of course you can't construct a trial balance unless you've got all the other accounts balanced. So this is particularly important when accounts are being kept manually, but even when you're using computerized software, then it's still important to have an understanding of what the software is actually trying to do. And even if you're using computerized software, you can't really carry out reconciliations unless you understand balancing of accounts. So there are a number of simple steps which are taken, and we're going to introduce you to a nice little sequence and show you how you can always balance an account using this simple sequence. So here's an account. It's got several entries in it. It has debits and credits, and we add up the total for the debits and the total for the credits, and we can see that in order to make both the same we have to add a balance. That's a balance carried forward, and in this case it's 5,522. Right? Our debits totaled 6,420, our credits totaled 898, and so to make the 898 up to 6,420 we added 5,522. We did this by subtracting the smaller number from the larger number, and then we entered the difference on the side with the smaller number. And that is what we call the balance carried forward, because it's the amount to balance the two sides. So here we've shown that we add them up, and both sides come now to 6,420. We then double underline the totals to end that period, and then enter the balance brought forward on the side that has the larger amount, because that's the balance that is needed. The 6,420 then is underlined. This is what we often use as a phrase now. Drawing a line underneath something means ending something, and that comes from accounting, from the double entry of bookkeeping. So let's have another example. Yes, we'll show an extract from a payables account, which is sometimes known as a creditors account or a trade payables account. Here we are, lots of debits and a few credits there. So we add the debits column and the credits column, and then we're going to subtract the smaller number from the larger number, and we're going to enter it on the side that's got the smaller total. There we are. We have a balance now of 2,491 and 83 pence. So our total should now balance. There we are, £5,984 and 42 pence on each side. So we double underline the balance totals again to show the end of the period, and then we're going to enter the amount to bring forward on the opposite side, the balance carried forward. And there we've done it. The balance brought forward is going to be £2,491 83 pence. That then is a simple procedure. I'm just going to go through it once more. What happens if you've got no entries on one side during the period being balanced? Well, it doesn't make any difference. You're still going to follow exactly the same procedures. Here we are, office expense account. Lots of debits, no credits. Add the debits up. Of course there's nothing to subtract for the credits, so on the credit side we enter the balance carried forward, £572.28. Total both sides now, and we have £572.28 on either side, so we're drawing a line underneath those to show we've ended the period. And enter now the balance brought forward of £572.28 on the debit side. So there we are. That's balancing an account, something which you will do very frequently if you carry out manual bookkeeping, and something that you should understand even if you're using computer software. That ends our short podcast, brought to you by Parkbench Tutors, narrated by David Hopcroft. Thank you for watching and for listening. We wish you success in your studies.